evaluation across the globe, improve enhance the ecosystem of evaluation, and encourage the youth evaluators and quality evaluation so that they can and everyone can make informed decision in the policy making and their programs. So we'll be starting with the brief of the introduction of EvalYouth Pakistan. What is EvalYouth? What it has been working on? What are the progresses so far? What basically its aim towards the evaluation ecosystem in Pakistan and how it collaborates with international and regional actors to enhance the capacity of young evaluators and how it promotes the overall environment of evaluation sector across the globe and in Pakistan. So basically, EvalYouth Pakistan is basically a network of young and emerging evaluators from all across Pakistan, and it has representation from all the regions of Pakistan, all the provinces of Pakistan, uh, who are basically aspiring evaluators and who recently joined this sector as an evaluators and monitoring and evaluation. It is a basically youth chapter of Pakistan Evaluation Association, parent organization in Pakistan, which basically is uh, and the EvalYouth Pakistan is basically youth chapter of Pakistan Evaluation Association. And it is also institutionally and strategically aligned with EvalYouth Asia and the global networks. So everyone who know and who don't know, EvalYouth Asia, and it's a global network. And then there's this the regional networks, and then country level networks. So EvalYouth Pakistan is strategically and institutionally aligned with EvalYouth Asia and the global network. So we in Pakistan launched this EvalYouth Pakistan chapter in 2021 on 23rd March of 2021. So who should be joining EvalYouth Pakistan? A person who is uh, either the aspirant evaluator or working in monitoring and evaluation sector and under the age of 35 years. So the purpose of this age limit is that we want really to promote this sector among the young people who are you basically want them to uh, learn this evaluation and improve their overall quality of evaluation and want to network and want to learn new ideas, want to share among the people. So this is basically the criterion. Also, the evaluators who have less than 5 years of professional experience. Uh, and the people who are recent graduates from the university, they can also join the Value Pakistan network. And then professional development who have technical knowledge of evaluation and are willing to become a professional evaluators in future, or they have already pursued the career in evaluation. So what is basically the challenge which forced the launch or establishment of EvalYouth and overall EvalYouth global? So the lack of capacity to produce the high quality evaluation is basically the major challenge that this world is facing, specifically the development and humanitarian sector. Also, the government sector, where we really need the capacity to produce high quality evaluations. And also, youth are underrepresented because the evaluation is technical field, and we really need youth who has very good ideas and they can really add value to evaluation ecosystem overall. So this is basically the challenge, and EvalYouth is being a bridge towards the addressing this challenge, where we also organize webinars and in-person seminars to build the capacity of EvalYouth members and aspiring evaluators. And also we connect with different entities, with different organizations to be part of the high level evaluations in the country, and they can learn from it. They can overall improve their capacity and contribute better. So this is the EvalYouth movement overall, launched in 2015 by EvalYouth partners across the globe, and the movement talks about engagement. EvalYouth Pakistan also engages with the regional chapters as well, and the global chapters as well, and then we discuss things about innovation. As we are already, we are also going to talk about a very new and emerging topic today, which is directly linked with this strategic pillar of innovation. And then we exchange knowledge. This is basically the purpose of EvalYouth Pakistan chapter, where we want to exchange knowledge with young evaluators, and we also want to learn and want young evaluators to learn about evaluation and how they can improve the overall evaluation ecosystem. So this is basically the vision, where we want to see that the young and emerging evaluators from Pakistan effectively contribute to equitable and sustainable development in Pakistan. And our mission is to basically empower young and emerging evaluators from Pakistan to become leaders in evaluation, to engage capacity building and networking. And the overall goal is to increase the supply of competent professional evaluators in Pakistan. And this is what we basically do through different online, hybrid, and in-person events in Pakistan. And also with the regional and global actors. This is basically EvalYouth Pakistan strategic framework, which is from 2021 to 2015. And the long-term outcome for us is to increase the supply of competent professional evaluators in Pakistan. And as I already discussed, that we do that by doing in-person, hybrid, and online webinars, seminars, networking events, to connect the young evaluators from Pakistan with regional and global actors, so that they can learn and produce high level evaluations in their field. And medium term outcomes are engagement, capacity strengthening, networking, and institutional strengthening. Where in engagement, we really want young and emerging evaluators, including women, and those marginalized people who really want to pursue their career in evaluation but are facing some hurdles in doing so. And also the capacity strengthening. We want the young evaluators in Pakistan, they should have an increased contribution and increased capacity towards M&E systems, and so they can really contribute better towards their work. Also, networking, it's a basic and very critical our outcome, where we really want young evaluators are well connected with the national, regional, and global development community. And institutional strengthening, the EvalYouth Pakistan chapter is institutionalized and as an effective and sustainable platform for young evaluators. So we have the new XCOM, which was selected through the competitive process in last year, 2023, the late last year. And me being the co-chair, I joined in last year, and I have another co-chair with me, who's Fozia Bano. She basically works in UNICEF in the field of monitoring and evaluation. And we also have Salman Khan, who's basically looking after operations, and he also works with FAO in Pakistan. So this is the overall governance structure of EvalYouth Pakistan, where we have XCOM member, myself, Fozia Bano, we both are co-chair, and with me, we have Salman Khan, who is the director of operations. And we are in process of basically onboarding the provincial representatives, and we will have one representative from each province, and then we'll also have an international coordinator who will be responsible to get engaged with international, regional, and global actors to conduct and or arrange different webinars, partnerships, and communication with other EvalYouth chapters as well. And then where we have the task forces, where the task forces will be focusing on the specific areas. We have task force around capacity strengthening. That task force will focus more on enhancing capacities of young evaluators by organizing webinars on different areas, different innovative subjects around evaluation, and it can be hybrid, it can be in-person events in Pakistan, and it will also be and some online webinars and seminars as well. And then we have engagement task force that will work towards the engagement of EvalYouth members. We'll definitely want to increase our outreach, and we that task force talks about and take care of the increased engagement of EvalYouth Pakistan. And then the networking task force take care of the partnerships and the communication with external stakeholders that can be based in Pakistan, region, and global as well. And then we have the task force of communication, which will be the face and they will be working around the handling social media, communication, spreading the word about our upcoming events, and also making some IEC material and newsletters, etc. About the performance so far, so we have more than 50 registered members from all over Pakistan, and we have interaction of our young evaluators with experienced M&D professionals. We have also been part of the EvalYouth Eval for Action campaign, which is a global campaign. And then in the capacity strengthening, we have the progress of, we have collaborated with UNICEF, where UNICEF engages the members of EvalYouth Pakistan for their evaluation assignments. And also we have conducted some in-person trainings in Pakistan and also the webinars. And we have also developed and disseminated some resources among our network members so that they can really get benefit from it. In the networking part, we are really been active and participated in regional and global networks and initiatives. This is one of the global initiatives which we are part of. And then we have collaborated with international and regional chapters as well, where we collaborated with EvalYouth, Peru, Sri Lanka, and Afghanistan chapters. And then in institutional strengthening, we developed our strategic framework where we defined our long-term and medium-term and short-term goals as well. We have a partnership strategy where we really want to increase and strengthen our partnerships with national, local, and international actors. And then we have strong social media presence, and where we get engaged with young evaluators, share our progresses, and discuss challenges and opportunities with young evaluators. There are some glimpses of our previous events where we discussed and did the introductory meetings, discussions with EvalYouth Peru chapter, Australian Evaluation Association. We were also part of Eval for Action global campaign. Then we are very strong and strategic partner of UNICEF in Pakistan. And so we also launched of OECD TSC criteria in Urdu, which is basically Bible of evaluation. And let's say this is a basic criteria of conducting an evaluation. So we also launched it in Urdu language for our aspiring evaluators and young evaluators. This is basically the pictures from the capacity building workshops, which we conducted last year with young and aspiring evaluators. We were joined by the UN agencies and international organizations Claire, Pakistan and Central Asia, UNICEF, FAO, and other organizations and UN agencies as well. The purpose of this workshop was to build the capacity of young evaluators and motivate them and let them know of new innovative approaches to evaluation. About the future plans, so as I discussed that we are onboarding the provincial reps and task force leads, and that onboarding process will be completed by the next month maximum. And then we have the plan of increasing the valued members. So some of you might already be the part of EvalYouth Pakistan, and those who are not, I will be sharing the link with you to join EvalYouth Pakistan and be a member of it. And then we have plans for conducting and organizing webinars and in-person capacity building events in future. And then periodic meetups will be there with our members, with our XCOM team, with our task force teams and provincial representation as well. Then we have a very strong plan of mobilizing resources for some workshops, capacity building trainings, webinars, seminars through collaboration with regional, local, and international groups. And then we'll also be focusing on increasing and strengthening our partnerships. So this is basically the QR code, which will lead you through the Google form where you can join the EvalYouth Pakistan. And you can also find the link below where you can join the LinkedIn page of it, and also be sharing and pasting this link to the chat box so that you can directly click it and join the page of LinkedIn. So this was all about EvalYouth Pakistan, how it has established and what we have been doing in previous phases. So now we'll be heading towards our webinar, which is about artificial intelligence and evaluation, how technology and evaluation, how technology and artificial intelligence can benefit evaluation. What are the opportunities? What are the things that we can really consider and can benefit from it? So we have Nazir Haq with us, who is basically monitoring and evaluation manager with Global Coffee Platform. And the good thing is he also served good time with EvalYouth Pakistan as a co-chair, where he was directly engaged with all the activities that I recently showed you in the slides. His term ended in late 2023, from where I joined. And till 2023, he was engaged in all the activities that I shared. He led it, and we are really happy to have him in this webinar for discussing the artificial intelligence and how technology can really contribute towards evaluation overall. And prior to this, Nazirul Haq has an extensive experience of working in Southeast Asia around the monitoring and evaluation, where he has worked in Thailand and other Southeast Asian countries. And prior to the Global Coffee Platform, he was the Global Mel Officer with Better Cotton, where he was part of the global team of Better Cotton evaluation team, where he conducted and was part of the various evaluations in the agriculture value chain sector. So I welcome you, Nazir, for this webinar, very important webinar, and we have good participation. And I really request you, all the participants, to write their names and what do you work, where do you work, and which countries you are joining us from. So these three things, so that we can know our participation, where we are joined from. And if you have any question, you can write it on the chat box, you can ask. And now I hand over to Nazir to talk about the artificial intelligence and technology and how it can benefit to evaluation. Thank you, Nazir.
Hi, Wasim. Can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear. Hello, Nas.
Well, it's ironic we are talking about artificial intelligence and we don't have a reliable access to electricity and internet here, but I'm here in my hometown in Chitral, and hopefully we will not face any other disruption during this presentation. But thank you, everyone. Thank you, Wasim, for the very gracious introduction. Really happy to be part of this webinar and getting an opportunity to interact with different male professionals out there and getting an opportunity to also talk about artificial intelligence, who is getting a lot of traction in monitoring and evaluation, just like in any other professional field, but as well as it has been, a part of our regular normal life. I would like to start off by congratulating Wasim, Salman, and Fauzia for assuming the leadership roles of EvalYouth Pakistan. Um, Excellent opportunity for you, and I'm sure you are going to do a great job in your new really leadership position, and all the best for the next 2 years. I would say you are already having a great start with this very relevant and timely webinar and the use of artificial intelligence in monitoring and evaluation. Um, I would also like to share that I'm not an expert in technology, or I'm not an expert in the field as such, but I would say I'm just a novice experimenting with different things and taking the role of facilitator for this webinar so that we can have some informed, productive discussion on the responsible use of artificial intelligence in monitoring and evaluation. We can share opinions, exchange knowledge, and hopefully, we will learn from each other on how effectively we can use artificial intelligence in our regular work in monitoring and evaluation. Session particularly is more focused on those who are beginner in the field of, or who are beginner, in using artificial intelligence in monitoring and evaluation. So for those of you out there who are more experienced, I hope you don't get bored, but we do have a dedicated section at the end of this session where we would like to hear from your experiences on how effectively you have been using artificial intelligence in your monitoring and evaluation work, and we'll be very happy to involve you in sessions in the future focusing on more technical and advanced use of artificial intelligence in monitoring, evaluation, research, and learning. Uh, Also, another disclaimer. Also, the topic is a little broad. We have mentioned it as like artificial intelligence in evaluation. Perhaps, given the time, we will not be able to cover the different uses of artificial intelligence tools. There are many out there, in monitoring, evaluation, and learning, and they're already being used. But we are going to focus on the most popular artificial intelligence tool, and that's ChatGPT. I'm sure everyone knows about it, and and indeed it's very powerful, and it has a lot of applications in the work we are doing. So we thought it's very timely we focus this particular session on ChatGPT only. So let me try to share my presentation. Let me know, Wasim, if you can see this.
Yes, it's visible. Yeah.
Thank you. So the contents we would like to cover is brief introduction of artificial intelligence and ChatGPT, how exactly they are currently being used in monitoring and evaluation, what are the benefits, what are the risks, and what are different ethical considerations that we need to keep in mind while using artificial intelligence in our work. We'll then go into discussing some of the practical tips that we can have for effective use of ChatGPT for monitoring, evaluation, and learning work. I would like to spend 10 to 15 minutes on showing you a practical example of how exactly we can develop log from with the use of ChatGPT. And then we will have discussion at the end. We would like to hear your feedback and as well as any question you might have. So I would like to start by asking a short question. what is your favorite science fiction movie? So I wanted to use it as a poll, but somehow the poll is not working well, so you can put in the chat. The basic reason I'm asking this question is that, the science fiction has long been a source of inspiration for numerous inventions and innovations. For those of you who have watched Star Trek, you might know the communicators being used in Star Trek, and that was actually a source of inspiration for the cell phones that we are currently using in our daily life. So there are too many examples out there. The imaginative world of science fiction, can drive real world technological advancement. So any science fiction movie that has inspired you, or that you have been amazed, or something you feel like, oh, that's something that might happen in the future. So anything, if you could kindly post in the chat. Megan, Wasim, is there some movie? Thanks, Elysia. Planets of the Apes. Anything else? It looks like it's not everyone's taste, not even mine, but I have watched a few and I really enjoyed them. I would like to share my choice after we hear from a few other participants in the session. Okay, please continue posting. You can talk about your favorite movie there, but I would like to share mine and try to link it to the discussion that we are having today. So for me, I would say my pick is Her. It's a movie I had the chance to watch a few years ago. I don't remember, it was maybe 2016 or 2017. As I said, I'm also not too much into the AI movies, but or science fiction movies. But when I watched this one, I was really amazed. I was really curious. This looks like something that could actually happen in the future. So just to quickly share with you, it's a movie based in near future Los Angeles and follows story of Theodore, who is a lonely, introverted man who works for a company. They're writing personalized letters for different clients. He's struggling with his recent divorce, and he finds solace in a new advanced artificial intelligence tool that is designed to meet the user's different needs, right? So the name of this tool or operating system is Samantha, who is highly intelligent, who is capable of learning, and who is capable of evolving. And as Theodore is going to interact more with Samantha over time, he's going to fall in love with Samantha, who is basically an operating system in form of beautiful woman. So as the relationship progresses, Theodore is grappling with different complexities of loving and artificial intelligence, including the realization that Samantha is also forming bonds with thousands of different users. So, of course, it's a no-go for any man if you feel like the one you're in the relationship is developing bonds with many other people out there. Anyways, AI is also evolving, and he's leaving behind his human companions, and they choose to live and explore their own existence. My two takeaways from this movie is that, the first is it clearly shows that how artificial intelligence can evaluate and understand human behaviors through continuous interactions and data collection. And that's something already happening in our daily lives, in our interaction with different tools that we are using, including LinkedIn, whether it's Netflix, whether it's Facebook. In a way, these different tools, they are learning a lot about us depending on how we are interacting with them. But secondly, it also highlights the emotional disconnect and the inability of artificial intelligence to fully comprehend and replicate human emotions and relationships despite its advanced capabilities. So this is the restriction or limitation of artificial intelligence that's going to last for quite some time. We cannot say forever because there's always the search for artificial general intelligence, which is supposed to be, you know, as intelligent, as emotional as human. Uh, Another reason for mentioning this movie is that because this is the movie that actually inspired uh, the co-founder and the chief executive of OpenAI, the company who actually built ChatGPT, to the extent, you know, that they even used the voice assistant voice in this movie that was done by Scarlett Johansson for their own voice assistants that they are currently going to develop as part of the ChatGPT tool. So that is my segue into the key topic that we are going to discuss today. I'll quickly explain to you what artificial intelligence is. I'm sure it's, you know, for those of us who are not coming from the background, it's always difficult to explain a terminology or a jargon like, you know, what is artificial intelligence? And we can say, oh, maybe we are talking about computers, or maybe we are talking about some kind of robots. But very briefly, artificial intelligence is basically computer systems who are capable of performing complex tasks, which are traditionally done by humans. So they do most of the work that we humans do, and that includes reasoning, providing logical reasons for different situations, making some kind of informed decisions, taking different scenarios, different factors, different aspects into consideration, and also help in problem solving, whether it is some kind of social related issues or whether we are talking about some kind of scientific issues. They really help in making these kind of support in solving problems. The history of artificial intelligence is long. You know, first, the word coined by John McCarthy during the Dartmouth conference that is usually referenced as the birth of artificial intelligence as a field evolved over time. There was a lot of suspicions, you know, around the use of artificial intelligence because it was using a lot of funding. But then, you know, late in the 90s, there was more like a boom in the use of artificial intelligence. I'm sure you all have heard about the computers beating, you know, the chess champion. So that was like, you know, one of the big milestone in the field of artificial intelligence. And late in 2010s onward, there's been a lot of work in terms of voice recognition and facial recognition, you know, all these kind of different technologies. And the latest one, of course, is the revolution, I would say, around different chatbots. Chatbots, the most popular one being ChatGPT, but then there are, you know, a number of such tools out there. Just to give you a few examples, you know, what do we mean by artificial intelligence? I'm sure you all have Siri in your phone. You know, you ask Siri to perform different kind of tasks, whether you want to ask them to make a call or, you know, reply message to someone directly your phone through voice support. A similar tool being used by Amazon is Alexa. And as well as, you know, for other phones, computers, we can also use Google Assistant, you know, and, you know, they will be understanding most of the questions or instructions we are giving them and doing the task that we expect them to do in a way not imaginable before, you know, for a machine to do a task like that. We also face a number of recommendation systems in Netflix. You know, whenever I log in, I get a lot of recommendations, and in a way, the movies I'm watching, Netflix is using that data to know more about my behavior, my taste, and they're going to recommend a lot of movies to me. Amazon, Facebook ads, or other similar tools which are using artificial intelligence Self-driving vehicles, so Tesla is working with Tesla and few other companies. They're working with the self-driving vehicle, which is also some kind of artificial intelligence, which is going to navigate around, based on the surrounding. And of course, you all know about ChatGPT and Microsoft Copilot, which are the tools that we currently use in our work. So I would like to get into ChatGPT now. I'm sure you all have seen this logo, which stands for ChatGPT. And would like to focus more on how we can actually use ChatGPT for monitoring, evaluation, and learning work. Meanwhile, if you have any question, feel free to put in the chat, and we will take them up for discussion later on. So what's ChatGPT basically? It's ChatGPT, I would say, is basically an artificial intelligence language model, or in our word, in MEL, we use tools for a lot of things. I would like to also use the word tools. It's developed by OpenAI, the company behind ChatGPT, released only half an year ago or 17, 18 months ago, but it has already got millions of users who are actually using ChatGPT on the daily basis. ChatGPT basically stands for Chat Generative Pre-trained Transformer, which is a language model, or you can call it a natural language processing model, a model that can understand human language. When we can talk to them, just as I already explained, we can talk to Siri and they can do a lot of work for us. But this one is basically in form of a chat, in form of a conversation. So we can actually have a dialogue with ChatGPT, ask different questions, get different recommendations, and ask for support in different works that we are doing. It's called generative because, it generates responses and text based on our inputs. So we ask questions, then it's capable of responding to us just as it is fully understanding whatever we are asking of the ChatGPT. It's called pre-trained because, ChatGPT as a model has been trained on a huge volume of text data to understand language, context, and various topics. Everything we search in Google, everything that is available in the soft form in different websites. ChatGPT has easy access to all that information, and it's not only access, like we go in Google, we search, we are only going to get a list of different resources, but in ChatGPT, it's going to give you, it's going to analyze the request, is going to work around the text, and is going to give you a very intelligent response. It's basically designed to understand and generate human-like text, as I explained. So ChatGPT, I will also give you a tour of the tool later on, but it's can be used freely. So there's a free tier it's called GPT 4.0 or 3.5. But then since getting a lot of focus, it has more advanced function, which could only be accessed in the paid version, which includes the Plus, Teams, and the Enterprise. And just to explain, ChatGPT is not the only tool out there. There are few other tools which are equally popular, which are equally being used. Google Gemini from Google and the Microsoft Copilot, which I currently use, because it's the Microsoft subscription, and it makes it a bit easier to use Copilot. And these are also two of the powerful, I would say, competitors out there. So how ChatGPT works, as I already explained, it's basically being trained on a diverse data set comprising of text from books, from websites, and other text. And it uses deep learning techniques to understand the context and generate relevant responses. It's like a machine that can learn on its own based on interactions with different users. And the amazing thing is it continuously improves itself through user interaction and feedback. I had the chance to review the earlier version of ChatGPT, and some of the responses were just not correct. Some of those were based on misinformation. Some of those look like you're asking something, but you are getting a totally different response. But over time, I feel like ChatGPT is getting much more intelligent, at least based on my interaction with ChatGPT. But of course, that's how it has been built. It continuously improves itself. Another quick questions. Hope you're not getting bored, but would like to ask if you are currently using ChatGPT in your work. Do you use, I mean, you can just put yes or no. And if yes, you can also respond to for which particular task or for which specific task do you use ChatGPT in your work? Or if you feel like unmuting yourself and sharing your response. Thanks, Yoshi. Language editing, of course, I do use it. When I write email, I do put it there if it makes sense for people who are coming from the more native background. But of course, we also need to be careful that we do have an oversight on how actually we are using it. Any other work you actually use it for? Thanks, Wasim, for various innovative ideas. It does give you a lot of useful suggestions. Indeed, it could be a good use for at least starting report. You give it the basic information, and it's going to at least give you some kind of input that you can use for writing the reports. Useful for, again, thanks, Bilal. Good to know you're using it for data analysis and as well as for research. So countless uses of ChatGPT in our work, in our daily work. So I would like to briefly cover a few of them. So ChatGPT is a very powerful tool, and it can, like in terms of M&E, it can help you in developing, monitoring, evaluation, and learning frameworks and systems. You can get support for developing your theory of change. You can also get support for developing results framework, log frame, monitoring, evaluation, and learning plan. I would say data collection plan, evaluation plan. You can get some kind of support for all of these kind of works. It can actually help in enhanced data collection. Different digital data collection tools such as Kobo Toolbox have actually integrated artificial intelligence. I would say not specifically ChatGPT perhaps, but a similar sort of tools in Kobo Toolbox that can actually help in better understanding the data that is being collected through ChatGPT. But the free version of ChatGPT, it can actually help in designing surveys, like what kind of questions you want to put there, what are the basic information that you can collect. It can help in improving data analysis. I will try to show you in a while, if we have enough time to do that. It can also help in forecasting and different scenario planning. It can think about different situations and what kind of outcomes we can expect if we understand the context in a better way to ChatGPT. It's also linked with different dashboards. I checked different dashboards such as Power BI. They use different kind of tools, artificial intelligence tools that can help in making visualizations more effective, more easier. And it can also be used in capacity building. I mean, could be used in developing training materials. It can actually be used very powerfully in learning. I mean, personally, when I want to understand some of the concepts more clearly, I just go to ChatGPT and I ask it to explain to me in a way, that I am totally new to the field, and it will explain you with examples in such an easier way that you are going to understand the concept more clearly. And of course, it can be used for communications, including reports, refining or rephrasing meeting minutes. And if you want to develop social media posts for LinkedIn, for uh, Twitter, for Facebook, it's going to give you all different kinds of supports. But with all these wide uses, it also comes with the potential risk. And there's, whenever we talk about artificial intelligence, the potential risk associated with AI or ChatGPT, I would say they're also getting a lot of focus. There are a lot of people out there who do highlight, what are the different risks that we need to be aware of. So the first major risk would be for data privacy and security. Collecting and processing large amount of data can pose risk to the privacy and security of individual information. It may also, may not be able to comply some of the regulations such as GDPR, especially if you are working with entities based in Europe. I was looking their side, and they were like, okay, it is like whatever information we put there, it is temporarily saved there, and it is actually used by the system itself. And it's likely, it could also be accessed by different people who are actually searching for relevant resources there. But in a way, this could be reduced by the paid versions, which cost around $20 per month. I'm sure it's not a big amount, but also a big amount, depending on how actually you are going to use ChatGPT or how useful it's going to be. Another risk is that it can perpetuate bias, and it can lead to some kind of issues related to fairness, because it might have been trained in a data that is actually biased in itself. So if we totally rely on ChatGPT or other artificial intelligence tools, then it's likely to be leads to some kind of biasness or perpetuate existing biases that could lead to some kind of discriminatory outcomes if we are using in our data collection or if we are using it for recommendation totally. There are also technical challenges. Not everyone can know or can use it properly. You also need to have good quality of data, that is actually feeding, going into the system, and that's actually shaping the way ChatGPT is working. And for us, ML, monitoring, evaluation, and learning is slightly emerging field, and if everyone is going to put something there, then perhaps it might move ChatGPT in a direction that is that might not be responsive, to the different stakeholders who we are working with. And of course, there are ethical considerations, including over-reliance on artificial intelligence can reduce human oversight. And it could also lead to some kind of accountability issues as well. So these are just some of the risks, and the basic idea is that we need to be aware of the different risks. Sometimes it might happen that we put some of our document in ChatGPT that is actually confidential for the organization. And perhaps, if it is discovered by someone else, then that could lead you in trouble, so we should always be careful not to share those kind of resources in ChatGPT. So I'll give you some practical tips, some based on my own use, but also based on the tips provided by different people who are actually using it. Currently, I had the chance to see some of the lectures on YouTube, and as well as there are different community of practices, especially the American Evaluation Association. They have a dedicated association, I would say community, who is focusing on the ethical, responsible use of AI and ChatGPT. So most of these are from them. But the first one, I would say, I liked it the most. So you should take ChatGPT as a super efficient assistant or intern who is assisting us in our work. So we should rely on it as much as we are relying on intern who is going to provide us support. And it's super efficient, it's super intelligent, but it doesn't know everything, so you are in a position within the organization, you know the context better, you know the programs and the projects better, so don't expect ChatGPT to understand those things, and don't take everything. You might ask for some kind of decisions, giving them the scenario, but it might still not be able to give you the good situation. So as humans, we always have that edge that we better understand the context. I already shared the limitations and risks, so we should be aware of those risks and limitations. Also, should avoid sharing confidential or sensitive information in ChatGPT, especially the free version. And Sporten, we all use it. We all use it for different purposes, and sometimes we are not aware to what extent it complies with our organization's data security policies. So, I would encourage we should have more open conversation and discussion even within our own organizations on how actually we should be ethically and responsibly using ChatGPT and other artificial intelligence tools so that we can put systems in place, with input of everyone. Different people use it, but in a way, people don't want to share, okay, they're using, ChatGPT for different tasks they're performing. So I would encourage, we should have an open conversation around it. And finally, review and approve every content that we get from ChatGPT, even if we are drafting an email, we should review it so that it should look more like my writing, it should not look like something written by someone who is totally unaware of the context or the situation. So we should always review and approve before we are sharing any of those contents with people out there. So when we talk about ChatGPT, one of the most important thing we need to know is providing effective prompts. So prompts are basically our input or a query we give to any language model such as ChatGPT to get any particular kind of response. So we have something in mind and we want to get any specific kind of response from ChatGPT. So how exactly, like what is the language, what are the prompts ChatGPT can understand well? First of all, should be very specific. We should make our prompts, our query, or our questions from ChatGPT very specific. If it is broad, it's going to give us something broad. If we say, okay, I need to develop a proposal on, I would say, sustainable farming practices in the context of Pakistan, working in this particular crop, then it's likely to understand the situations well. And if I say, okay, I want to get more insights on the political, economic, and social issues around this particular agriculture commodity, and what are the issues specifically faced by women who are working in agriculture. So if we are more specific, we are likely to get more relevant recommendation from ChatGPT. Second one is to provide context. So I will also show you in the practical example in a while. So we should always give the context, as I already explained, where we are working, what exactly we are looking for. Asking open-ended questions. So we should always ask open-ended questions. We should not ask questions such as yes and no. Sometimes ChatGPT always says yes, I have tried, and if you say, oh, does this happen? It says yes, and it tries to give you some kind of explanation that doesn't make sense. It's always good to use some kind of examples. If you say, oh, I want to get outcomes for this particular project, then it's good to explain what are outcomes, what kind of outcomes we are expecting. Again, avoid leading questions. We should not say, oh, does this happen? In a way, it's always misled by those kind of leading questions. So questions should be kind of neutral. We should experiment with different phrasing, because in a way it might not understand any particular sentences or terminologies we are using. So it's always good to use different phrasing, so that because in each phrasing it gives you different sort of or more relevant inputs, outputs. And last, like be patient, as I said, the ChatGPT itself is learning, and it's learning, I would say, exponentially. It's improving in such a fast pace that if today it doesn't understand any question, tomorrow it's likely to understand even those kind of questions and queries. So we have to be patient with it, but also as we'll go to the first step, take it as a very intelligent intern, not a boss within the organization. Okay, do you have any question before I go to the practical example very quickly? Okay, then I will share my screen and try to quickly introduce to you ChatGPT. Wasim, let me know if my screen is visible, and then.
No, it's not visible at the moment. It's just we can
Okay,
see, but
how about
it's
now?
the process. Yeah, yeah, it's now visible. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, great. So this is the kind of interface you will see when you open into chatgpt.com, or sometimes I guess you have to use openai.chat something. I will share the link again, but this is the interface you will see. So you can explore ChatGPT here, and it can lead you to the different areas where you want to work on. Like if you want some support, some kind of math solver, there are personalized or customized ChatGPTs that have been developed by different users out there, and most of them are also available for public use. So you can use all different kind of I would say customized chatbots here. If you want to use Canva more clearly and you want to use ChatGPT for designing some kind of materials, you can go to Canva. You can also use ChatGPT for different kind of research related work, including data analysis. If you want some kind of support with writing, you can go to all of these different kind of chatbots that are already available there. But anyways, I want to start quite fresh, so I will not go into that. Very quickly, this is like with the free version, you can have limited access to data analysis. Sometimes you are able to upload files, and you can work. Excuse me, we have someone has called,
Yeah, so
I
I've
guess.
it was unmuted, but I've muted it.
Okay, right. And the paid version is like $20 per month, and it has more advanced function. You don't have any limit, on how many queries you can ask. It's linked with image generation tool, and you can create and use custom GPTs. And there's business version that's different. There's more on Teams. But anyways, this is just for your information. So what we want to do, normally when we are new to it, or when starting a new chat, for me, it might already know me. I have been using it, I have been using different terminologies. So in a way, when I'm using it, in a way, it has my history there, so it understands most of the things. But someone who is starting it new for the first time, so in a way, you have to give some kind of context to ChatGPT. So I'm going to run a small case study here, and for that I will show you the example that I wanted to use. So let me share my screen again. Okay, so this is just a quick example. The idea is that we want to be, let's say, in most of the cases when we are working as monitoring or evaluation professional within a team, we come in the program or project cycle in different phases. But one of the important thing is important work that we are expected to do is, okay, there's a project proposal. Either it has been approved or it is being submitted to the donor for funding. And we are expected to develop a log frame that is likely to be part of the proposal, or if not, is likely to be part of the project implementation plan. So develop a hypothetical example here, which is a project focusing on improving rice production for smallholder farmers in Thailand. The problem is that there's a lack of access to reliable water management systems and lack of agricultural inputs that hinder production and as well as income for the farmers. Anyways, I will not go to it, but we can share it with you later on so that if you would like to experiment with it yourself. So this is, in a way, a brief project proposal we have, right? And we are required to develop, excuse me, so we are required to develop ML framework for this particular project. So I'm giving you an example of how actually we can write an effective prompt so that ChatGPT understands what exactly we are expecting and is able to generate a good response or a relevant response for us. So this is one version of prompt that we can. Wasim, is it visible? Can you let me know? The Word document?
Sorry, I think Naveed, we cannot hear you.
Can you hear me now?
So is it just me or
Yeah, it
everyone
would
else is
be good to
also
hear from
unable to
others.
hear
If I
him?
am not audible, please let me know. Can you hear me, Wasim?
You are now. Yeah,
All
yeah,
right.
I can. Thank you. It was
Okay, great. So very quickly, this is an example of a prompt that I would ask ChatGPT. So I want to get ChatGPT's help in monitoring evaluation and learning, and I want ChatGPT to help me as an expert. So this is just an example. There could be different phrases that you can ask ChatGPT. So example is, okay, you're an expert in monitoring evaluation and learning for sustainable agriculture development. And I'm going to ask you to design a log frame based on the summary of project that I will provide you. And then another prompt in the same line or in the same chat I can give you. So I would like you, the log frame, to be in form of a table, and it should have the following columns. So the idea is, what we are expecting, we should know what we are expecting. So we should know what a log frame is, what a log frame looks like, what kind of different information it could have. So I'm explaining, okay, in terms of, it understands when I give it number 1, it shows, okay, it's going to be the first column, right? This should say whether you are measuring outputs, outcomes, different level of outcomes, or whether it's impact. The second column is going to be results, where this should set out the result statement. So there's going to be an important component of any log frame that we should have proper result statements based on the project summary. Each result should be in a separate row using the following definitions. So as I explained, even if you don't give definition, you will get some kind of log frame output, because people are already using, ChatGPT has already been trained. But the problem with log frame and different terminologies is, they differ by different organizations, different donors. So I want to do something that is going to be very relevant and applicable in my context. There are also differences about how people use outputs, outcomes, different level of outcomes. So it's always good to provide that kind of details and context to ChatGPT. I'm not going into the detail, but just this is how, we explain all of these. I'll just go through one, and then, the rest follow the same pattern. So for goal, I'm saying, oh, it's a higher order objective, which an intervention is intended to contribute. Goal is what the project hopes or a program will accomplish at the end of the project, at the end of the program. So I'm always also giving an example: enhanced economic empowerment of women and youth in selected rural communities of Thailand, right? So this is just an example. Like I want ChatGPT to create something like this. Even if you give a totally different example, ChatGPT will understand that we are expecting something like this because it understands the pattern, what kind of changes we are looking for and what are the different stakeholders there. Then I define second column or third column, which is going to be the indicator. And I define, okay, I want these many indicators. We can say we want quantitative and as well as qualitative indicators. Third column normally is the data source. So we can say, okay, it should explain what are the different data sources, or we can also call it means of verification if we feel like. And I also give some examples, include national statistics, could be progress reports, could be different studies. And then the last column we normally use in a log frame is assumptions. And then I explain, what assumptions are. And I also give a quick example, how assumptions should look like. And another prompt is, each row of table should be different and change step and indicator, right? So let me quickly go to ChatGPT and try to share this in ChatGPT and see, what kind of output is going to give us. Okay, let me know if you can see screen.
Yeah, I can see.
Okay, can you see the case study document or okay?
ChatGPT is being
Okay.
visible.
Right. So yeah, I'm going to start with something like hi, we don't need to do all the hi, hello, how are you? But in a way, it's sometimes if you're already in the middle of different kind of queries, if you just put hi, ChatGPT understand perhaps you're asking for something new so that it doesn't continue the same conversation on a different topic that you're having with ChatGPT. So it's just a simple way to say, okay, you are switching to a completely new topic. I'm telling ChatGPT that it's an expert in monitoring, evaluation, and learning. And I'm going to ask you to design of a project that I will provide you later, right? Okay. Now, as we said, it works more like a conversation. It's always good to take it step by step. If you put everything there, it might not fully understand the context, what exactly we are looking for. So now it understands, now ChatGPT understands its role really well, that it is an expert on monitoring, evaluation, and learning, and we want help with designing a log frame. I want to give more information about what I want. So I would like, I'll put the different requirements that I put there earlier. And I'm just going to put that prompt as part of ChatGPT there, including everything. Okay, it's already giving me the different results because I had in a way I had already used it, to create some kind of test run already, but let's still put it there, because the project we have, the information I have has more details, and it will perhaps be able to provide something different. So I'm saying here is the project plan. Because earlier I told ChatGPT that I'm going to, or I can say project summary, yeah. So this is the log frame we are going to get with the prompt. And the good thing is, you can use the same prompt if you want to work with different projects. You use it once, it is saved in ChatGPT for a long time. I already reached the limit for how much I can use. But anyways, I would say it's more than 80% correct in most of the times, and you can still improve a lot of things. If you want to say, can you further refine the assumptions, then it's going to make it for you. And what exact kind of changes you're looking for assumptions, you can also put it there. You can see it has given us long-term outcome, intermediate outcome, 2 intermediate outcomes. It has given us 2 short-term outcomes. If you want more short-term outcomes, we can explain. And it has given us at least 4 different outputs based on the different interventions we had designed. Indicators are also very relevant. This is normally for measuring productivity, we use yield. And it has used a really good indicator, increase in yield per hectare by 2025. And you can change a lot of these things. If you don't want the targets as part of the indicator, you say, okay, don't include targets, and it's going to do the same for you. This is how you can work. In most of the cases, you are able to, I would say, in the paid version, or if you are using Copilot, you can just download it. But I had tried with the download version here last time, and it was not fully working. So the good thing is you can just copy it, right? And you can post it in a Word document, and it's going to still show you how it looks like. I'll quickly show you how it looks like. Anyways, it's not really good here, but I feel like you can still use it. So this is how, anyways, we can, in the interest of time, I'm not going to through all the details. You can still do some of the formatting work, and it still looks like a table for you. Similarly, you can do all different kind of tasks with GPT. You want an evaluation plan, you want to develop a survey, you can ask, I'm looking for these kind of questions. Even for this one, if you want to say, okay, I'm looking for an evaluation plan to measure yield, and it's going to give you all those evaluation questions there. I'm going to stop here because I feel like this is already enough for this webinar, but we will be happy to organize more sessions in the future if required. Perhaps bringing in more experts, but this is just based on our own use of Chat GPT in our work. I hope it was useful. I'll be happy to take any questions. And Wasim, I'll hand it over back to you if you have any questions, or if you would like to open the floor for discussions.
Thank you, Nazir, for this extremely valuable session on AI and evaluation. And I think after your session, I'm pretty sure that the potential of AI and technology is huge, and it can definitely work beyond our expectations if we work on it with good techniques, and if we provide sufficient and good information to these GPT models. And also, the way technology and AI models are evolving day by day and on regular basis, I think it is going to benefit more, and the potential and the scope of it will be very comprehensive in future. So I thank you again for your extremely valuable session. It was extremely useful, and it provided very detailed hands-on insights, and we definitely learned some few, techniques how to use and give prompt to ChatGPT in order to get the desired information in structured and good manners. So I open up the floor to everyone. If you have any questions, comments, feedback, you all are welcome. And we will definitely be, holding such events and webinars in future as well. to educate and also to disseminate the information about evaluation to the larger audience. So the floor is open to you guys. If you want to write any question in the chat box, if you want to ask, just raise hands or speak or write in the chat box so that we can answer it. Thank you.
I think we have a hand up from Ronald.
I think yes. Let me.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Good morning, all.
Good morning, Ronald. Thank you for joining us, please.
Thank you. I'm Ronald from Uganda, and mine is not a question. I would just want to appreciate the organizers of this webinar. I think it's a very good webinar that we as male experts really need to grasp these concepts. I really like the way you've been taking us, especially for those who are starting it for the first time. It's a very good learning. We really appreciate it. And it will be good if you could share with us the recordings. We really appreciate it. And I hope you'll be organizing such webinars frequently. And it will really teach us and help us in doing our work so much. I really appreciate you a lot. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ronald. Yeah, it's a pleasure that you found it useful, and hopefully, of course, we'll be sharing the recording. I will let Wasim, share most of these details with you. Wasim, over to you.
Yeah, I will definitely be doing that. Thank you so much for your comments. So we have one question from Shivshi that can you share the template that you are prompting to ChatGPT? Just wondering what elements should be included there that need to generate the tables you show.
Sure, Xiaoxi, I already responded to her. Xiaoxi is a very good colleague. We work together in EvalYouth Asia, and they're doing a great job, with the P2P work. Good to see you here, Xiaoxi. Of course, we'll be sharing the presentation and as well as recording. I see your last question. That's really, really relevant. I feel like it's going to reduce, the job opportunities to some extent. I would say not all, but it's going to be there. So those who actually learn how to use ChatGPT, artificial intelligence in their work, they're definitely going to be there's definitely going to be a market for them. So I feel like if we do not learn how to use it, then of course we might be left out. So the idea is we should be able to use how we can use it, in our work. And as I said, it's more like an intern or an assistant. So it's never going to replace us at that level, but we should be able how to use it more productively and more effectively.
Yeah, so thank you so much. We have feedback as well. So in future, because thank you, Bilal, for your feedback. Basically, the EvalYouth Pakistan wanted to have this webinar for young evaluators who really want to pursue their career in evaluation domain and want to learn new things. So for young evaluators and aspiring evaluators, so that's why we kept it very basic and beginner level so that the people who are trying to pursue their career in the entry level of monitoring and evaluation domain, they really can get the hands-on experience and learning from Nazir to how to use ChatGPT effectively and carefully as well, because sometimes there are some times when ChatGPT information can be tricky and can backfire, as well as Nazir has shared that due to GDPR regulations and also some national and international data protection regulation. So the use of AI should be very careful as well. So thank you so much for the comment. The reason of keeping it generic and basic was that we were expecting, being the EvalYouth Pakistan organization, we were expecting the participation to be young evaluators who really want to pursue and want to learn new and basic things about evaluation. That's why we kept it very basic. But definitely, I completely agree. In the future, we will have some intermediate or advanced level of webinars as well, where we will be discussing more complex information, detailed and comprehensive information about technology, AI, and how it can leverage the evaluation domain. Thank you so much for the comment.
Yes, Wasim, I second your opinion. As we already said, this is going to be very focused on beginners who are totally new to the field of evaluation, and it's good to see, we have this initial one, and we can build on this. As we discussed, we would like to get into more advanced level that is going to be attractive for senior or experienced evaluators as well. So would like to invite you, Bilal, if you would like to also be or moderate a session, feel free to reach out to EvalYouth Pakistan, and we'll be happy to have you or other more experienced evaluators out there. Will be good to learn from you. Yeah, over to you, Wasim.
Yeah, so thank you so much, Nazir, and all the participants. I think this was it, and it was very learning packed and useful session. And I really hope to, see all of you in the future webinars, seminars as well. When we'll be talking about more innovative ideas and approaches to improve our overall evaluation, techniques and innovation. And thank you all of you who have commented and appreciated our efforts in the chat box. Thank you so much, everyone. And thank you so much, Nazir, for sparing your time for this very amazing webinar. We will definitely be bothering you for such events and webinars where we really need your expertise to be and knowledge to be disseminated across masses. So thank you so much, all of you, for your time, and thank you. Yeah, take care.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.